The 1950s marked a golden era of post-war American optimism. Cars weren't just modes of transportation. They were status symbols, lifestyle statements, and rolling testaments to success. Automakers scrambled to design vehicles that looked straight out of sci-fi movie. But not every futuristic-looking car delivered on its promise. Some looked like the future, but drove like a failure. Today, we're counting down some of the most misguided cars in American history, not to ridicule them, but to explore the design flaws, technical missteps, and strategic blunders that held them back. Number 12, 1950 Ford Crestliner. In the booming post-war market, automakers raced to stand out and bring customers back to showrooms. Ford's answer? The Crestliner, a sedan that tried to turn heads with a black vinyl roof. Yes, its signature feature was fake leather stretched over the top. At the time, this might have seemed bold, a touch of sporty luxury. But beyond the roof, the Crestliner offered little new. It had the same flat-head V8, standard suspension, and no standout innovations. Buyers expecting something fresh left disappointed. The vinyl roof itself divided opinion. Some found it stylish, others called it tacky. But the real problem? The Crestliner lacked a competitive edge over rivals like Chevrolet or Plymouth. It was quickly discontinued and largely forgotten, a symbol of prioritizing looks over meaningful improvement. Number 11, 1951 Mercury Monterey. At first glance, the Mercury Monterey looked like the American dream on wheels. Long lines, shiny chrome, and elegant proportions. It had the looks of a Hollywood star's personal coupe. Positioned just below Lincoln, it aimed to deliver affordable luxury. But once you got behind the wheel, the dream faded. Its flathead V8 was decent for city driving, but far from thrilling. It had heavy steering and a bulky frame, and driving it felt more like maneuvering a sofa. Inside, it was refined and roomy, but so were many cheaper alternatives, with a higher price tag and little to justify it in terms of performance or tech. The Monterey struggled to find its place. Today, it's remembered more for its good looks than for substance. A reminder that style alone can't carry a legacy. Number 10, 1959 Chevrolet El Camino. On paper, the El Camino sounded like a genius idea, a car-truck hybrid offering both style and utility. But in execution, the 1959 model missed the mark. Built on the flashy Impala platform, the El Camino looked more like a show car than a serious hauler. It had dramatic tail fins, a low stance, and sweeping lines. But those design choices compromised functionality. Its payload capacity was weak, the bed was small, and the low ride height limited its use as a true truck. As a car, it didn't offer much either. The cabin was cramped and lacked the comfort of a traditional sedan. It was stuck in a middle ground. Not quite a car, not quite a truck. Meanwhile, Ford's Ranchero offered a more balanced design and quickly outshined the El Camino. The 1959 El Camino taught a harsh lesson. Try to be two things at once, and you might fail at both. Number 9, 1957 Lincoln Premier. If you wanted to make a statement in 1957, the Lincoln Premier was the car for you. With its massive dimensions, chrome overload, and flashy styling, it screamed peak American luxury. But driving it was a different story. At nearly 19 feet long and over 5,000 pounds, it was unwieldy in city traffic. The high rear, bulky front, and poor visibility made it feel more like steering a ship than driving a car. Despite its powerful V8, performance was sluggish and fuel economy was terrible, even by 1950 standards. Inside, it was luxurious, with plush seating and high-end materials, but it lacked the innovation of competitors. Cadillac, for example, was already introducing cutting-edge tech, while Lincoln stuck to flash. The Premier became a bloated symbol of excess, big, bold, and ultimately behind the curve. Number 8, 1958 Buick Limited. Buick was once known for refined, accessible luxury, but the 1958 Limited felt like an over-the-top attempt to one-up the competition, and failed. At over 19 feet long and nearly 5,000 pounds, it was less car and more land yacht. The 364 cubic inch V8 sounded impressive, but the fuel economy was abysmal, single digits in many cases. Inside, the car was full of high-end features. Leather seating, power everything. But driving it daily? Not enjoyable. The biggest issue was philosophy. Buick went all in on more chrome, more flash, more weight. but forgot about balance. Sales flopped, with only around 7,400 units sold before Buick pulled the plug in 1959. The Limited became a case study in what happens when visual appeal smothers practicality. Number 7. 1955 Cadillac Eldorado Biarritz. In the golden age of American excess, Cadillac reigned supreme, and the Eldorado Biarritz was its crown jewel. With a price tag over $6,200, nearly $70,000 today. This wasn't a car, it was a statement. Its towering fins, sparkling chrome, and convertible body made it a visual masterpiece. But under the surface, problems emerged. The 331 cubic inch V8 delivered 270 horsepower, but the car's sheer size and weight dulled any sense of performance. It was more about presence than driving pleasure. Worse for the price, there was little technological innovation, no breakthrough engineering, no major performance advantages, just looks. And those looks came with high maintenance costs, thanks to custom parts and luxurious trim. The Biarritz was undoubtedly glamorous, but it represented a mindset, paying for appearance, not engineering. A beautiful collectible today. But even then, it was more showpiece than driver's car. Number 6. 1957 Ford Skyliner Retractable. Imagine a car that magically transforms from a coupe to a convertible at the push of a button. In the 1950s, that sounded like something out of science fiction. But Ford made it real with the Skyliner Retractable, the world's first mass-produced car featuring a fully electric retractable hardtop. Behind this jaw-dropping innovation was a complicated mechanical web. 7 electric motors, 6 locking mechanisms for lift jacks, and almost 600 feet of wiring. When everything worked perfectly, it was mesmerizing. But a single motor failure would bring the whole system to a standstill. Even worse, the folded roof swallowed nearly the entire trunk space, making packing for a road trip a real challenge. Plus, the extra components added weight, which hurt fuel economy and handling compared to other Fords. At nearly $3,000 in 1957, over $33,000 today, buyers had to ask themselves, was this rooftop spectacle worth all the trade-offs? The Skyliner Retractable is a shining example that impressive engineering doesn't always mean commercial success. Today, it's a cherished collector's oddity, but back then it served as a warning. When engineers overcomplicate things, drivers end up paying a price. Number 5. 1959 Cadillac Eldorado Brougham. In 1959 America, the cost of a house could buy you a Cadillac Eldorado Brougham, with a starting price north of $3,000, nearly $135,000 today. It was among the most expensive American cars ever made. What justified that price? Pure luxury. Inside, the Eldorado Brougham featured leather, wool, brushed stainless steel, and even a steel roof with polished chrome. It was packed with lavish extras, a custom perfume dispenser, stainless steel cocktail tumblers, and memory position seats. Each unit was hand-assembled, giving it a Rolls-Royce level of prestige wrapped in American style. But beneath the glamorous exterior lay many technical headaches. The advanced air suspension was notoriously unreliable. The electric amenities were impressive, but difficult to service. And the car's weight was so massive that even its powerful V8 struggled to move it with ease. Driving in the city was awkward, thanks to its oversized and cumbersome nature. Cadillac made only 99 Eldorado Broughams that year. Though a rare collector's gem today, it never achieved widespread success, showing that sometimes too much luxury isn't what buyers really want. Number 4. 1956 Dotto Adventurer. With a name like Adventurer, Dotto set out to capture the hearts of thrill seekers and speed lovers craving something bold and new, and visually delivered sweeping curves, shiny chrome, and flashy two-tone paint made it a stunner. But beneath the flashy looks, speed was only skin deep. Marketed as a high-performance coupe to compete with a Corvette and Thunderbird, the Adventurer boasted a powerful 5.8-liter Hemi engine with over 300 horsepower. Impressive on paper, but on the road it told a different story. Soft suspension, weak brakes, and a heavy frame resulted in sloppy handling that was anything but sporty. Buyers expecting a true muscle car got a family cruiser disguised as a speedster. That gap between promise and reality was fatal. In the thriving 50s performance market, the Adventurer simply didn't deliver and quickly faded away. Today, it's a perfect reminder. If you claim speed, you better back it up behind the wheel. Number 3. 1958 Lincoln Continental Mark III. Some cars make you feel like royalty behind the wheel, but the Mark III made you feel like you were steering a battleship. At nearly 20 feet long and weighing over 5,000 pounds, the Lincoln Continental Mark III embodied excess in every sense. Lincoln's goal was to challenge Cadillac with a top-tier luxury model, packing the car with cutting-edge features like 6-way power seats, power trunk, and power windows. On paper, it was impressive. In reality, everything was too heavy, fragile, or both. Its blocky design, stubby tail fins, and tank-like front end made it look more like a fortress than a luxury car. Under the hood, the massive 430 cubic inch V8 couldn't overcome the weight, and fuel economy was shockingly poor. Priced close to $6,000 back then, over $65,000 today. It competed directly with the Eldorado, but lacked the polish to win that battle. The Mark III is remembered not for success, but as a symbol of an era when automakers believed bigger automatically meant better. And they were wrong. Number 2. 1958 Edsel Pacer. Ford had high hopes for Edsel. Their premium middle-market brand meant to bridge the gap between Ford and Mercury. But instead of a breakout hit, the Edsel Pacer became one of the biggest automotive flops in American history. From the odd name to the massive advertising push, Ford expected big things. But when the Pacer hit dealerships, customers were baffled, mostly for the wrong reasons. Its awkward horse-collar grille was widely mocked, and the real-world experience fell far short of the hype. Priced around $2,900, over $30,000 today, it was marketed as a mid-level luxury car. But poor build quality, a fragile teletouch transmission, and frequent electrical problems quickly destroyed buyer confidence. Launched during an economic downturn, a pricey, unreliable car was a tough sell. Sales tanked, dealers abandoned it, and within a few years, Edsel vanished. The Pacer stands as a clear lesson. No amount of marketing can save a flawed product, a dream undone by overconfidence, and a failure to truly understand customers. Number 1. 1959 Edsel Ranger. You can't talk about automotive failures without mentioning Edsel, and the Ranger is its most infamous example. Born from Ford's ambitious plan to launch a mid-tier brand, the Edsel Ranger was supposed to revolutionize the market. Instead, it became one of the biggest flops in American car history. Its signature horse-collar grille sparked endless controversy. Loved by few, cringed at by many. But design wasn't the only problem. The Ranger was loaded with futuristic features like push-button gear selectors and dome-style electric gauges. Clever in theory, but clunky, unreliable, and costly to repair and practice. Its V8 engine delivered enough power, but the driving experience was dull. On top of that, poor build quality, misaligned panels, and rattly interiors further damaged consumer trust. When the market tightened, the Ranger had no chance to bounce back. Today, the Edsel Ranger symbolizes the failure to read the market correctly. It shows that no matter how bold your idea is, if it doesn't meet real customer needs, it's just an expensive experiment. Behind every failed car is a bigger story, one of ambition, the spirit of an era, and costly lessons learned. These cars may look strange, drive poorly, or scream excess, but each played a role in shaping a wild and fascinating chapter of American automotive history. They remind us that great looks and cool features aren't enough. A car only succeeds when it truly fits the driver. If you enjoyed these stories, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment telling us which car you think was the most outrageous. See you in the next video.